66 years ago, in 1950, Nobel Prize-winning physicist Enrico Fermi, while having lunch with colleagues Edward Teller and Herbert York, suddenly asked, "Where's everybody?" Although there wasn't deep theory and argumentation behind this question, it's now known as the Fermi Paradox. Fermi's line of reasoning was as follows. 1. Most likely, there are many, possibly millions, of other technological civilizations in our Milky Way galaxy. 2. If a society is only a few decades younger than us, it won't be technological. Therefore, any technological civilization will almost certainly be thousands or millions of years older than us in terms of technology. 3. Within a million years or so, a trifle by cosmic standards, a civilization should master or even colonize most of the Milky Way. 4. So why do we see no evidence of even a single extraterrestrial civilization? Clearly, the question of whether other civilizations exist is one of the most important questions in modern science. The discovery of such life, say through microwave data analysis, would certainly be on the list of the most visionary and significant scientific discoveries of all time, including lending credibility to the words of many prominent scientists like Freeman Dyson that the universe is filled with intelligent life. But after 50 years of searching, nothing has been found. If numerous technological civilizations truly exist in the Milky Way, why haven't we been able to detect any signals or other evidence of their existence? Why don't they reveal themselves? In Fermi's words, where is everybody? Possible solutions to the Fermi Paradox. Numerous scientists have studied the Fermi Paradox and proposed explanations. Here's a small list of popular options and common arguments. Perhaps they are strictly forbidden from revealing their existence. However, this explanation falls victim to the inevitable fact that it would only take one small group in the extraterrestrial community to break the silence, disagreeing with the generally accepted pact. Given our experience with human society, it seems utterly impossible for such a prohibition to hold without exceptions for millions of years among many extraterrestrial civilizations scattered across different stars and planets. Or they exist but are too far away. Such arguments typically ignore the potential for rapidly developing technologies. For example, when a civilization reaches a certain level of development, it could send von Neumann probes to distant stars, which would scout for suitable planets, Earths, and then create additional copies of themselves using the latest software arriving from the home planet. Simulation of such a scheme shows that one society could explore the entire Milky Way galaxy with such probes in no more than a few million years, which again is a trifle by cosmic standards. Communication could also be facilitated by unknown, but futuristic, high-tech means of communication. And next, they exist but have lost interest in interstellar communication and/or colonization. Again, considering Darwinian evolution, which is widely believed to be the mechanism guiding the development of biology throughout the universe, it compels organisms to explore and exploit their environment. It's quite difficult to assume that as a result of any actions, every single individual would lose this thirst for exploration, or that the galactic community would enforce a prohibition with 100% effectiveness against those who wish to communicate or explore the world for many years. Perhaps they are calling, but we haven't heard the signal yet. While most agree that the SETI project should continue its search, this explanation doesn't account for signals sent with the explicit purpose of contacting the newest technological society in a form that society could easily recognize. Current SETI programs assume that distant civilizations are trying to send us a signal of their existence in a form we should recognize. And again, it's difficult to foresee a prohibition on such communication attempts being enforced on a galactic scale. Or perhaps civilizations like ours inevitably self-destruct. However, we've already accounted for the percentage of such civilizations in the Drake equation. In any case, human experience has shown that we have survived 100 years of technological youth and have not yet destroyed ourselves with nuclear or biological weapons. Global warming presents a serious challenge currently and has recently been proposed as a negative solution to the Fermi Paradox. But now we understand the situation well enough and are rapidly developing environmentally friendly technologies that give us optimism and hope for changing this malignant trend. Other, more exotic technologies are under development, and at least some of them should bear fruit within 10 to 20 years. Human civilization should master the Moon and Mars, and after that, its long-term existence will be immune to disasters on Earth. Continuing to fantasize and debate. Maybe Earth is a unique planet with qualities that favor the development of biological intelligent life. But again, recent research, particularly the discovery of exoplanets, has shown that the exact opposite is true. Environments like ours are quite common. Or perhaps we are alone, at least in the Milky Way galaxy. This specific hypothesis does not align with the principle of mediocrity, the presumption dominating since Copernicus, which suggests that there is nothing special about Earth or human society. This question may be philosophically satisfying, but scientifically it requires discussion. Some scientists believe that there is a great filter that explains the eerie silence, some major barrier that prevents societies from successfully exploring the Milky Way. The possibilities here vary in hypotheses, that life in principle is too unusual to arise out of nowhere, or that the transition from prokaryotes to eukaryotes is too unusual, or that the combination of planetary dynamics and plate tectonics is too unusual, or civilizations must destroy themselves, or that in the future there will be a catastrophe like a gamma-ray burst from a nearby star. And generally, society faces an inevitable end before it begins to explore space. One of the disturbing aspects of this line of thinking is that, *A, we are the first technological society to overcome the Great Filter. *B, we are in trouble because the Great Filter is ahead, possibly in the form of a grand catastrophe. Some believe that the search for extraterrestrial life on Mars or other planets beyond the solar system will yield nothing, because if life is discovered, it will reduce the chances that we have overcome the Great Filter, and also increase the likelihood that the Great Filter still awaits us. The enduring mystery. With each new exoplanet discovered with a potentially habitable zone or friendly life/atmosphere in the solar system, the mystery of the Fermi Paradox grows and expands. Truly, where is everybody? Remains one of the most thought-provoking questions for modern people. There is no simple answer to it, and 66 years is perhaps too short a time to resolve it.